Coming up on today's CodeBet Daily, it is a Chockers weekend show. We're covering off a bunch of NBL, NFL, the Cricket World Cup. There's EPL in there. We're talking player props, game picks, best bets. There's about 87 Rate My Multis. And of course, it's Friday. So that means there's a donation. Stats Guy, what are you looking at?
Some EPL goal scorers, NBL game picks, and one of those Rate My Multis.
Very nice. Alex?
A mental health bet on Erling Haaland before he destroys Arsenal.
Very nice. It's all on CodeBet Daily today. Check it out right now. Welcome to CodeBet Daily. It is Friday, TGIF. Am I right? Jeez, I can't wait to get around a few froths this evening watching Weezer. That should be pretty good. It is October 6th. This is, I believe, episode 209 of CodeBet Daily. I am your host, James Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website and a surprise twist. You can find that at codebet.com.au because it's called CodeBet. I'm joined, as always, by the Pontiffs. That's right, the Pontiffs of Punting. I've got Liam McElligin, a.k.a. the Stats Guy, a.k.a. the Stats Man, a.k.a. the Stats Boy.
Oh,
what's going on, Stats Guy?
I was upgraded, then I was downgraded. I don't know what's going on there. You didn't get the memo of the New York Yankees Caps today. Big Yankees day apparently today. But
Why would you rep a team that stank all year and didn't make the postseason? Am I talking about the Red Sox? No one knows. I'm also talking about the Yankees because they were horrible this year. So blow it out your noses, you buffheads. And we've also got Alex over there too. What's going on, Alex?
Yeah, I could not give a crap how the Yankees went. This was just the closest hat to me this morning. I should have worn my Titans one because we won.
Oh, yeah.
And we're probably going to get smashed this weekend. But hey, we finally won a game.
I'm steering clear. I made a hard and fast rule in NFL Australia last week, which I'm about to break, which is always good. So this is Code Breaking the Rules Daily. CodeBet Daily. It is what it says on the tin. It's code, it's betting, it's daily. Apart from Tuesday where we had the day off this week. But we are talking player props, game picks, best bets. There is a Rate My Multi for NFL Sunday, aka NFL Monday, and it's Friday. So that means the donation. Everyone's at the moment. It's won once, maybe twice. But anyway.
Oh, you're still up if you bet on it.
But given the fact that we're how many times into doing the donation, if you had $10 every time and at the one time it won, you would have won like $2,000. So you're well in front.
What are we looking at? Well, I'm no math magician. No. That stacks up. What are we looking at today? I've got a bunch of NBL and NFL ahead of a big weekend of sport. There's obviously the Cricket World Cup as well, which I believe Stats Guy will be looking at. Is that right, Stats Guy?
Yeah, I got a Cricket World Cup Rate My Multi at the end of towards the end of the show, and then EPL and NBL as well.
Awesome, Alex.
Just EPL and the donation today.
Righto. Then let's get into some player props.
Player props.
I love that echo. Jesus, good. NFL player props for me for Sunday night's game. So we are tracking the Washington-Chicago game today. I was all over Brian Robinson. If you listened to yesterday's show, hopefully that one hits. I'm feeling good about it. I've just got two for the NFL Sunday because it's a weird slate. But we're going to go Calvin Ridley against Buffalo over there at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's like a clash of two worlds. Look at this.
Oh, that's right. Daniel Levy only cares about making money for the business rather than, success on the field.
In a surprise twist, Alex is saying bad things against Tottenham and also being a downer. What a surprise. I, for one, am shocked. Either way, Calvin Ridley will go against Buffalo for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's away from that STD pool they've got there in Jagsville. And Calvin Ridley, 60-plus yards and anytime touchdowns, actually $3.30 because the Jags are underdogs in this one. I'll get to that later. But I really feel like this is a good bounce back for Ridley. He's had a decent year. Had a couple of weird drops. I think he smokes this Bills secondary that's dealing with like a raft of injuries already. They're very squishy in that secondary, the Buffalo at the moment. They did like smash Miami last week. I think this is a letdown spot for Buffalo. # spoiler alert. I think the Jags stuck in London for a week after playing at Wembley last week, beating Atlanta, get on the tins, hang out, enjoy some of those London pubs. You're just sort of chilling out. You acclimatize. Then you go out and beat a much more favorited Buffalo team. The other one, you could also go 2 touchdowns, I think, for Calvin Ridley. He's the sort of guy that he does have these random games every so often. I think 4 times throughout his career, he's had like really big days where it's like 2 or 3 touchdowns and he just goes completely off. And you're like, is Calvin Ridley the best receiver in the NFL? What is happening?
Just this week.
And this week might be it because the the Bills lost Tre'Davious White. He tore his Achilles. And I said, like, they've just got lots of injuries in the secondary. So 2 touchdowns is actually $10.50. I actually really like that one. And the other one is another actually 2 touchdown game because I'm going to lean on the Miami Dolphins to absolutely bounce back and smash-erate the New York Giants. The New York Football Giants. Tyreek Hill, 2 touchdowns. It's only $3.60. What are we doing? That's insane. So we'll go Raheem Mostert, $4.25. Even that's very short. But I think they're going to put a world of hurt. We saw Mostert and Devon Achane put up multiple touchdowns like 2 weeks ago when they smashed Denver. So I think Miami, that offense will kick into gear again against the Giants and crush them. A couple of 2 touchdown scorers in there right there. What about you, Alex? What are you looking at for player props?
Oh, I'm setting myself up for failure here. Erling Haaland and his Manchester City team travel to the Emirates Stadium on a Sunday night to take on my beloved Arsenal. Now, Erling Haaland hasn't scored in 3 competitive matches and now faces Arsenal. I really am not looking forward to this as an Arsenal fan.
Unleash the beast.
As a punter, we are getting over $2 for the first time in God knows how long for Haaland to score 1 goal. He scored in both games against Arsenal last year, and he scored in his last 8 of 10 away games. So pretty good record. He doesn't go 4 games without scoring a goal. It's just, I hate it. I hate everything about this. It's fine. As long as I can make some money out of this, it's fine. $2.05 is just a great bet when he's usually like $1.50, $1.30 to score in most games. And I'm also going to have something on Emile Smith-Rowe to score at $6 if he starts in the Arsenal lineup, because when he's come on this season, he's looked very lively. He had a lot of injuries for the host of last season and played his first minutes in the Premier League in forever a couple of weeks ago. And he's hit the post a few times. A couple of good saves have stopped him. So there's no real stat to go off this. It's more just a complete vibe and the fact that he's $6. And when he's at his best, as shown sort of 2 seasons ago, and even when Mikel Arteta first came into Arsenal, he is a bloody good footballer. He's just been injured for 12 months, but now he's back to his best. He's getting a lot of minutes, and I think he could slip under the guard of a few people.
There we go. This is the new segment, the gut call.
The gut call. Yeah, I don't mind that.
The gut call. Got to go from the gut. Yeah. So my gut call this week might actually be that Ridley 2 touchdowns. So it's just
gut.
The vibes.
It's all about the vibes.
Vibes.
Hi, stats man, stats boy, take it away.
I didn't cover this game. First I'll say that Emile Smith-Rowe won at $6. I really like that as well. I think
he just needs to start though. That's the problem.
Just if he starts, have a look at the lineups maybe, and then jump on it. I think a lot of other Arsenal players will get covered, and he might just pop out of nowhere and score a goal. So I don't mind that.
Very good dribbler.
I'm going to have a look at Brighton taking on Liverpool. Huge matchup this weekend. Having a look at Darwin Núñez. He's been absolutely awesome this season so far for Liverpool. He struggled a lot last season. They compared him to Haaland. Now they've sort of forgot about comparing him to Haaland. Just let him play his own game, and he's sort of got his confidence up. He's got 4 goal contributions this season already. Liverpool are in great form. I think they're going to win this game and score a lot of goals. Brighton play a lot of open play, and they don't like to defend. They lost 6-1 last week, as we mentioned on the EPL show. They just are prone to either winning 3-1, losing 5-1. It's going to be sort of like Tottenham with Ange Ball. It's just a very open game. So
they drew 2-2 against Marseille this morning.
2-2, exactly. So it's just going to be goals. And if there's going to be goals in open play, I think Núñez is going to get a lot of space in attack. So $2.62, I think, is the bit better value than Mo Salah. I think especially Brighton, they're a solid team. So I think they're going to smother Mo Salah. Núñez is going to get a bit of space. Salah could get an assist even. So have a look at those markets. But yeah, Núñez to score at $2.62, bit better value there on Bet365.
Mo Salah. Whatever will be. Did they sing that for him or not?
I'm not sure, actually. They say they have a song about him being the Egyptian king. I know that, but that's about it.
Sure. Yeah. Righto. Let's do some match and or game picks.
What's your best match or game pick?
So we were all over Cairns last night, stats guy for the NBL.
Yeah. I took
on the show. I think on the show I might have turned around and tipped Southeast Melbourne Magic Phoenix, but that's right. I was wrong.
That's right.
But the crazy thing was the Brisbane Bull A's.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We both didn't tip them. They've been good to start the season, yeah.
Went to New Zealand and smoked the Breakers. What are you going to do? Another doubleheader. I'm loving these Thursday and Friday doubleheaders. Can we keep this up, please? It's awesome. Sydney over Tassie tonight. I think Tassie will put up a good fight. We're going to go the over 175.5 points. That's actually ducked down a little bit since we talked about this 2 days ago. So I think still Sydney to win that one. And if you're going to look at the line, though, it's very, very, very close. The Jackies are 1.5. I just think Sydney will be a little bit too good. But like that line, if that was 3.5, 4.5, I'd be Jackies. So, but I'll take Sydney minus 1.5 and the over. And then Perth, Adelaide tonight, out west. We're out west, Adelaide will get smashed because Adelaide stink. We talked about this the other day as well. 36ers, they're 10.5-point favourites going against the Wildcats at RAC Arena. The over has actually moved up. We were on the under already, I think. Stats I was already on the under.
I found it at 184, actually, let alone 183. So,
I've got 183.5. So we're going to go Perth minus 10.5 and the under 183.5. NBL Saturday, the Hawks take on the Phoenix. Hawks minus 2.5. Don't know how you feel about this one, Stats Guy.
It's away again. So Phoenix, what is it now? 7 of last 8 away they've lost. So
I'm going Illawarra minus 2.5. We're going to go the under 177, 176.5 as well. Brisbane Cairns, it's a tropical bowl. Love this. The showdown, the tropical showdown, the tropical series, the pineapple series, Night of Enders. I love it. Let's go. Brisbane minus 2.5 though, because they are on fire. Bobby Clintman, I think, as I moved him out of my Supercoach team, was fantastic.
Oh, same. Oh.
Great job, everybody. Yeah. Absolute smart brain geniuses here.
Yeah.
Brisbane minus 2.5. We're going to go the over in that one because they were both flying yesterday. So another really quick on match game picks. Dolphins minus 2.5 and over 47.5 against the Giants. I mentioned this before. I think they put an absolute beatdown on this Giants team, this horrible Giants team that played on Monday night. The Dolphins could score 47.5 points by themselves against this Giants team at the moment. I'm just saying. That is $3.60. And if you're ready for a NFL Sunday night multi that we want to rate.
Rate my multi.
Glad producer Gerald got there in the end. Atlanta minus 1.5 over Houston. The Detroit Football Lions minus 9.5 against the Carolina Panthers. Miami, you can get that at 11.5 in some places versus the Giants, and Pittsburgh plus 4.5 versus Baltimore. I'm going to explain that later. That is $12.48. That's 3 favorites and an underdog. I've broken down the underdog idea when it comes to Baltimore and Pittsburgh. The underdog just basically always covers between those two.
Yeah.
Simply how it's go. Atlanta over Houston because Atlanta, look, they're out in London. This is a trap game, but they do come home. I think Houston have got 2 wins on the trot. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. It's kind of like the immovable object versus the unstoppable force of like Houston with like a bit of wind behind their sails. Atlanta traveling. It's like, can they both lose? Can I tip the tie? I don't know, maybe, but I think Atlanta just eked that one out. Detroit will smash Carolina. Of course, you say that, and the Lions do something weird, but Miami will kill the Giants and Pittsburgh cover. So, gentlemen, rate that multi.
I'll give it a 8.5.
Thank you,
Sounds pretty good.
I've tipped 3 of them, so I'm going to go with 7.
All right.
Nice.
What's the one you didn't tip?
Well, I tipped Baltimore to win, so just in case that Pittsburgh cover and win.
Okay.
Sure. Nice.
Not bad. I also heard the crow about how good my Monday Night Football pick was the other day for the Seahawks against the Giants. That was minus 1.5 and under 47.5. Smash that one on Monday.
Nice.
So on Monday's show for Tuesday's game. So
yeah.
Right. Alex, what have you got?
Yeah, just some EPL over-unders for the weekend. We'll start off with the aforementioned Tottenham. Them at over 3.5 against Luton Town. That is $3.10. Can't believe that, given the way Tottenham just attack. And, well, Luton's defence is more leaky than their grandstand at the moment.
Whoa. Hey.
Well, actually, Old Trafford's more leaky than that. Speaking of Manchester United and Brentford, over 2.5 goals, $1.60. Don't care what the result is, just over 2.5 goals. Moving across to what is the least anticipated game of all weekend, Everton and Bournemouth at Goodison Park. Don't care the result, under 2.5 goals. Neither team can score at the moment. That's $1.95. Go across to Newcastle, travelling to London Stadium to take on West Ham. We're going to take Newcastle and over 3.5 goals. There was 5 goals in a game against PSG yesterday morning. There certainly will be goals in this game as well, the way West Ham have been attacking this year. Newcastle in the over 3.5 is $5.20. I could not believe that. And then we'll finish off with Arsenal and Man City. Once again, don't care for the result. Dear God, Arsenal, please win. But teams to score and over 3.5 goals is $3. The last 4 games between the two teams have seen 17 goals being scored. Now, Gerald, if you want to hit the Rate My Multi button.
Rate My Multi.
those 5 thrown together is $150.88 with our friends at Ladbrokes.
How could it lose? He said.
I'll give it a solid 7.5, or maybe an 8. What am I?
Some of those goal totals are a little bit high for my blood, I think. Like the Newcastle over 3.5 against West. Like you do make good arguments, I think, though, for West Ham. But it does feel like West Ham after playing midweek, Newcastle feeling themselves after a Champions League outing as well, right? Like that one's the one that you go, it just turned into a bit of a dour sort of like 2-1 out, and you're like just sweating on a half goal. And the same almost goes for Arsenal and City, even though they've had plenty of goals scored in their last few stoushes. That's what it just sort of sometimes feels like 4 is a lot.
Yeah, I like City's defense, so I think Arsenal can score, but I'm leaning more towards.
I think the
like
two games last year,
2-1.
I think the games last year were like 4-1 and 3-2 or something with Arsenal and City. So.
I like that'd be awesome, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, I don't mind it. I'm gonna go 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5.
For a $150 multi. Like
it's not bad for a 7.
Get out of it. Like, jeez. All right, Stats Guy.
Jumping on the back of some of your NBL picks, I'm just going to go the over-under the total points. Tasmania, Jack Jumpers taking on Sydney. I'm going to go the over 175.5. I think they've just got 2 teams with really good offenses. Tassie, as we've mentioned, can once they heat up from 3, they're just going to score a bunch of points, in Sydney just have talent all around, so I'm going to go over there. Then I'm going to go the under 184 total points for Perth taking on Adelaide. I think Perth are going to smash them in this one. Adelaide, I don't think they can put up enough points. Just say, Perth could probably get to 100, but I'm not trusting Adelaide to score 84 points themselves, so I'm going to go under that one. That's around the $1.88. And then Illawarra taking on Southeast Melbourne. I think you went the under, James. I'm going to go the over. I think both these teams' offenses are much better than their defense. They've both conceded a couple of games. Phoenix have conceded over 90 points. Illawarra conceded over 90 points the other game. So I just think once things are clicking, it's going to be more on the offense. Like we've said before, though, Phoenix can crumble and randomly score not many points at all. But I do think this one's going to go the over. I'll quickly multi that. I might save my multi button for later. So $6. Oh, there it is. That was my fault. $6.43 for that little total points multi.
Nice one. I mean, I can see your argument for Illawarra and Phoenix.
Yeah, I can just see like the likes of Gary Brown, Tyler Cook, and then if Illawarra have a few shooters themselves, it's just be interesting to see if they heat up at all. Yeah.
But they're also 2 offenses that can fall apart.
Yeah.
So that was my worry with it, where it's like, it turns into like 77, 73, and you're like,
True.
That's not a game. Oh, man.
But then I could see it going like 110 to 100 or something.
It could also be 99, 97.
Yeah.
So, that's why I'd probably steer clear of that over-under for that one, but still on the Phoenix losing.
Nice.
But you can still talk me into it, so I'd still go a 6.
I'll take a 6. Yeah, nice.
Alex, you going to rate it?
5, because I just don't know.
Fair enough. I got a better one later. I'll get that.
Way to engage. Good stuff. Let's do some best
It's best bets. It's best bets. It's time for all the best bets.
See, there's a thing about engaging where I engage you on EPL, even though my beloved villains and I have no idea what else is going on. At least vaguely interested. See, when you pretend like it's below you, that seems
I don't pretend like it's below me. I just don't know. I rated 7 CJ Brutons out of how many titles the Sydney Kings won. There you go.
So all you have to do is just listen to the Stats Guy's reasoning and then judge it based on that. It's not that hard, see? Anyway, let's do some best bets. Jacksonville versus Buffalo. I talked about this. I really like the sort of contrary play, I guess, of Jacksonville beating Buffalo, or maybe not beating Buffalo, but at least covering the 4.5 point line in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, just because I think the acclimatization, there you go, of spending the week and essentially spending, 10 days over in London before this game versus Buffalo, who played a pretty crazy game against Miami, traveling, getting to London, then playing. I just really like the Jacksonville spot. So Jags plus 4.5, but I think we'll also see a lot of points in this because if the Jags do sort of get the jump on Buffalo, especially with the holes in that secondary, I think they can score pretty handily. The over-under is only 48.5 as well. We know that Buffalo can score. This was the best offense in the NFL last year. So that's $3.70 for those two combined for the plus 4.5 and the over. And then, of course, you got the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game that I talked about and alluded to. Boy, howdy, is there some good gear on this one. Pittsburgh, after week 5 or later in a season, They cover at a 71% rate just in general. Just in general.
Not even any other. That's crazy.
It's like Mike Tomlin realizes what his team is and just plays to his team's strengths. Basically, after week 5, after that first month,
yeah, we'll start trying now. Yeah,
it's how I've always read the NFL as well, right? Especially since preseason became like a thing of the past. Basically, the first 4 weeks are essentially your preseason. As everybody gets up to speed, your coaches sort of figure out what's working, what doesn't, and that's a really good mark for Tomlin, right? But as a home underdog, Tomlin's 14-3-1.
Wow,
against the spread. That's 82%, gentlemen.
Crazy.
Coming off a loss of 7 or more points, they did get smashed last week by Houston in Houston. It's 8-1 against the spread. Oh boy, the underdog in Ravens Steelers is 18-2 against the spread since 2005 when the spread is 3.5 or more. 18-2, that's a lot. And the underdog is covered in 11 straight games, just straight up against these two. And when Tomlin goes against John Harbaugh, the underdog is actually all-time 22-5-3 against the spread.
Wow.
We're going Pittsburgh plus 4.5. I'm just saying. We're going Pittsburgh plus 4.5.
I think you're out of a job, stats guy.
Yeah, that was a lot of stats, and they're all backing up that bet. I like it.
So I like Pittsburgh. That's probably my favorite bet of the lot. So I do like they're 2 underdogs, Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. So more than likely one of them will trip me up, but I really like both of them. They're my best bets for the weekend. What about you there, Status guy?
Yeah, just quickly, we got some multis that got up the last couple of days. Alex's Champions League one got up, which was awesome. And then the Europa League one got up this morning as well. West Ham, I think it's a record 17 straight Europe wins, which is awesome. So they got me over the line there. Having a look at another Rate My Multi with the Cricket World Cup starting last night. New Zealand was...
Rate my multi.
I like
We're
it.
all just, like firing off like
Rate My Multis everywhere. I was just going to quickly say before I do my Rate My Multi that New Zealand beat England last night and pretty comfortably.
No, didn't beat them.
They smashed them,
Absolutely
yeah.
obliterated them.
And I wasn't, seeing that at all.
Now, if you were on New Zealand to win the World Cup,
Yeah, from last year.
you felt pretty good about this.
I've realised my dad was on that exact same bet. I think we talked about it on the show, and then the few bets are on New
Mark
Zealand.
McCallion is the smartest of all McCallions except for Karen.
Okay, yeah. That makes no sense. I'm going to go...
Basically means you're last.
Yeah. All right. Pakistan, I'm going to go head-to-head against the Netherlands. Obviously, Pakistan, much more depth than the Netherlands. They just snuck into this tournament. Then I'm going to go Afghanistan head-to-head against Bangladesh. You can just go Afghanistan on their own at $2.10. They won the ODI series against Bangladesh just a couple of months ago. They've just got a lot of depth in this in white ball cricket. They've got Rashid Khan, Mujib ur Rahman, and Muhammad Nami, the president they call Nabi. They all dominated in the Big Bash and have dominated in ODI cricket the last couple of years. So I really like Afghanistan $2.10. So I'll take them head-to-head against Bangladesh there. Then I'm going to go South Africa head-to-head against Sri Lanka. South Africa won a series against England and Australia just this year. Sri Lanka, they've been pretty solid, but I'm going to take South Africa here. Then I'm going to go India head-to-head against Australia. Now, this is my little bit of an iffy one. I don't like backing against Australia, but India did win the ODI series against Australia.
I like that. You're not Alex.
No,
So,
I usually would back Australia, but yeah, this one opening game,
if
India,
we
it's
were
going to be a
winning
massive
games, it'd be different.
I
We've
mean,
been struggling.
and if you didn't hate Australia, like it'd be laughing. All right.
But yeah, I think opening game, I think the crowd's going to be up and about. Kohli and the likes of Shubman Gill are in amazing form, so you got to go India there. So I'm going to go Pakistan, Afghanistan, South Africa, and India for my 4 best picks over the weekend for the cricket. 4 legs at $5.50. Which
Pretty good.
It doesn't sound great, but it's because Pakistan's not paying much and South Africa's pretty short as well.
Yeah, I do wonder about like South Africa, Sri Lanka. Like
That's the
South
if you want, yeah.
Like I feel like Sri Lanka, especially on the you're in India, they're a little bit more used to the conditions. Perhaps South Africa, if there's a chance to choke,
Yeah, they like doing that in World Cups.
100% of a chance.
True.
So it's an interesting one though, but it's not like you've obviously made a very good case for each of them. I like the Afghanistan Bangladesh one even.
Oh, just get on the Afghanistan head to head. I'm really confident on that one.
Head to head. So yeah, I'd agree with the India Australia game. I'd agree with Afghanistan and Pakistan. I do wonder about that South Africa, Sri Lanka.
fair.
I'd probably rather see South Africa play first.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard this first week because there's so many games. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
But I mean, yeah, once we get to like days 3, 4, 5, stuff like that, I think that's where I'd be landing with some of my multis on the Cricket World Cup.
Nice.
But I'll still give that at least a 7.5 because
Say that. Not
for
bad.
$5.50 for 4 legs,
Yeah,
Can't really argue too badly against them. So that's good.
cool.
What about you, Alex? What do you reckon?
I go 6. I'm really concerned about that Bangladesh-Afghanistan one. This feels really squirrely where somehow Bangladesh scored 350 runs.
Surely not.
Because, yeah, of course they did. Like, it's just weird.
Fair.
Cool. Nice one. I also like that basically Alex hates Australia that much that if you go back to like 1901, he'd be like, nah, voting no for the referendum.
Whoa! I voted yes, you asshole.
No, I'm saying for the referendum back in 1901 to become a country.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about this one.
so anti-Australian. He's like, nah.
I was about to say, I posted my yes vote. I posted my yes vote yesterday.
We are just yes podcast in all parts.
Alex is 100% just wanting to like remain a colony of England. He's like, nah.
Oh, I want to be a republic. Screw that.
Nice one. All right, take us home with the donation, Alex. Where's the donation?
Donation. This one might actually win. Donation.
All right, we'll start off with some AFLW. Carlton to beat the Western Bulldogs, the Melbourne Demons to beat the Adelaide Crows, Geelong to beat Essendon, Stats Guys' beloved North to win by 15.5 points or more against Fremantle, so 16 points because there's no such thing as half points. In the cricket, South Africa to beat Sri Lanka, India to beat Australia. And then, of course, we'll move across to some horses. Rosehill Race 6, number 1, NCAP to get the job done. Absolutely thrown in on the handicap ratings at set weights. He should be giving the field at least 8 kilos, and he's only giving them 2. Go across to Rosehill Race 8, number 12, Waterford to place. Drew a terrible gate last week and didn't run. Draws a much better barrier here and has won all 4 of his 5 races in Australia have been at Rosehill, but we're just going on him to place. And then we'll go across to Flemington, race 8, number 1, Romantic Warrior. One of the best credentialed horses to ever come to Australia from overseas. He is running in a Turnbull Stakes. If he's going to win a Cox Plate, he'll be absolutely belting these. That donation comes to $93.39. And if you want to be arrogant and have Waterford to win, $217.19.
Whew.
That's the arrogant part.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I love that.
Yeah.
That's good. As I sort of mentioned, though, the South Africa-Sri Lanka one just does give me pause where I'd like even think about like Sri Lanka at the line or whatever, right? So if you get 15.5 runs or something,
I was trying to have a look at that. I'm not sure if they're out yet, but if they do come out, I don't mind that, yeah.
But otherwise, that's pretty good. Jumping all over the donation.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I love those AFLW ones, actually, especially, Carlton especially. Dogs have been absolutely horrible, so, yeah, like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do we have to rate the donation? Because I'm going to give it, I don't know, 8? That's really
I'll
good.
give it an 11. Out of 100. No, out of 10.
How many lengths Romantic Warrior will win by tomorrow?
Oh, 11. I like it.
There you go. Go listen to Hold On tickets. That's it. Co-Bet Daily done for today. Done for the week. We'll be back on Monday. Oh, yeah. I'll have a wrap-up of the Weezer show tonight. Amongst other things, I assume. But
They just played Teenage Dirtbag like 15 times, right? And that's it? Or is
I
that...
hate you so much.
I know it's a different band.
I was about to say, even I know
Yeah,
that's
I know.
not right.
I know.
Anyway, I'll be out there just going, play Teenage Dirtbag. Get punched in the back of the head. Thanks, Alex. Subscribe across all of our podcasts as well. We have the EPL show, we have the Daily Show, we have Hold All tickets, we have NBA Australia and NFL Australia. There is a lot going on.
We have a super show of Hold All tickets coming next week for Caulfield Guineas Day and Everest Day. It is a big one, so you might want to go subscribe to the YouTube as well.
Nice.
Be nice. And of course, you can jump across all of the Code Bet socials, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Threads. And I think that's it. It's been a fun week. Very chill post AFL and NRL grand finals. So just nice to have the NBL back in full swing. Lots of double headers. NFL is just rolling into form. So good job, gentlemen. You can also check out all the AFL trade scenarios that we've thrown up on the website today, codebet.com.au. We have an 18-team all AFL trade. It is
Awesome.
amazing. You can go see the video that we put up yesterday as well. It is chaos, and I love every second of it. There's also 4 actual half-decent trade ideas that might swing some premiership
I was
odds.
about to say, can I read out the one that I constructed yesterday?
No.
Oh,
Right,
good
thanks,
one.
Guy. Thanks, Alex.
I just want to get Oscar Allen to Melbourne. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
Thanks to Gerald for producing. He does a great job when he's not firing off rate my multis every 2 seconds. And thanks to me, because why not? All right, what do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
May all your picks come in. Happy punting. Have a great weekend. We will catch you on Monday. Code Bet Daily Out.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.